Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's Lunch and Learn. This is Greg, one of the technical trainers at Decisions. Sorry about the short delay, but we are starting now and we will begin in just a minute. So if you are there and have a question, then you can go ahead and write it into the chat and we'll talk about it. Again, welcome to today's Lunch and Learn. If you have any questions, then you can pop them in the chat and we'll talk about them.
You can also feel free to raise your hand in the chat if it's too much to type out. We can look at it that way as well. There we go. We got one. Nicholas, I'll unmute you. We got Greg hosting, but I'm just kind of doing admin side.
Hey, Nicholas.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Good.
Yeah, I don't know if you read the chat that I put in, but I'm trying to implement the Python module. My company is trying to implement a Python script for our analytics team.
Mhm.
And I was running through the example and the documentation with just the very simple hello world script.
Yeah.
I followed all of the instructions as far as like setting up the Python module and pointing it to the correct file path and all that kind of thing. And
Hmm.
whenever I run the flow, I keep getting an error saying that the working directory cannot be found.
Hmm.
And it looks like it's defaulting to like the C drive decisions program files, which I believe is on your server side. And I
Hmm.
did read that whenever you're initially setting up the Python module, you need to request a reset on your hosted server if it's
Hmm.
being hosted by decisions. So I'm just wondering, I mean, it's probably part of the issue is that we haven't reset the server. But I'm also curious because whenever you're setting up the Python module initially and you're pointing to that file path, it looks like it's exclusive to only one file path, and we have multiple scripts that we need to run. So would I need to use it in the container module, or is there another way to go about doing that?
That's a good question. I honestly have not used this Python module before, so I'm not an expert in it. I think I mean, to me, you sound like you're on the right track with resetting the server. Is that what you said first to make sure
Yeah.
that doesn't do the
And
trick?
are we hosting, Nicholas? Are we hosting or are you guys
Yes, you guys are
self-hosting?
hosting. Yeah.
We're hosting
Yeah.
it. Okay.
Yeah.
And can you just, I got in a second late. I'll do some research on the sidelines while Greg is kind of filling in some gaps. Can you just copy and paste that message? So, because it must have came in right before I joined because I was in another meeting. If you send it in the chat, I'll kind of be able to kind of start parsing it too and maybe get it to the eyes of people that might have used that module before.
Yeah. Let me copy it. I'll add a little bit more context as well. I just had a very generic question in there.
I bet you've gone through this documentation pretty well,
Multiple
right?
times. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm reading through it now. Scripts as flow steps. And Nicholas, tell me again, like what's the sort of the pinnacle of the problem? What are you running into that you
So at
shouldn't
least,
be?
yeah, so at least during just doing the example flow here in the documentation,
Hmm.
I set up the flow how you have it with like the pop-up and everything. And whenever I debug it, it goes through the error path.
Yeah.
And the error that it's encountering, there's two different errors because I tried two different ways. It's
Hmm.
either the working directory is invalid,
Hmm.
or it has trouble finding the file in that working directory. Because whenever I
Hmm.
set up the Python module, I pointed it to the file path of the Python script on my local machine,
Yeah.
and it tries to go there, and then I didn't fill out the working directory portion whenever you're putting in your individual scripts in like the folders and settings. Whenever I do define the working directory, then it just flat out says you cannot find the working directory.
Can't find it.
Yeah. And then the second part of my question is because the script that we're implementing, excuse me, because the script that we're implementing has multiple scripts like encompassing it,
Yeah.
how would you point it to each individual script
I
whenever you're
know.
setting it
That's
up? Because it
yeah.
defines it as just one strict file path directly
Right.
to that application instead of just like the whole file like folder.
Yeah, that's a really good question. That makes a lot of sense that there probably would be an error if it wasn't pointed to one specific script, but I'm sure there's got to be a way to do that or set that
And I
somehow.
am pointing it to the specific script, at least for this example test case, because I just wanted to follow documentation and try to get it working.
Yeah. Hmm. My instinct is, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to help you as much as support probably could with a ticket. Have
Yeah,
you submitted a ticket yet?
I put a support ticket in yesterday.
Hmm.
I just hadn't heard back anything today, so I figured I'd at least
Okay.
try coming lunch and learn.
Yeah.
I'll look up who it's assigned to right now and I'll see if they've made progress on our side.
Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah. And I won't sit here and waste your time and pretend I know much about this because I
No,
don't.
you're
So,
fine. Yeah.
it's a good question though. All right, I guess for now, let us follow up with who's in charge of the support ticket and who's
Okay.
working on it, and we can at least collaborate with them and make sure that that they know that you came in asking about it today, and hopefully they'll find a good solution for you soon.
Wonderful. Thank you, Greg.
Yep, no problem. See you later.
See ya.
All right, anybody have any other questions? Okay, then everybody. Well, we will end it here today. Thanks for joining, and keep in mind that tomorrow we will not have a lunch and learn in honor of our holiday, Juneteenth. So we will not be working, but we will see you on Thursday when Rob will host. So have a good rest of your couple of days, and we'll see you next time.